On a busy Saturday afternoon in September 2014, the normally tranquil atmosphere of Harmon's Irish bar, located in the upscale resort of Alvia near Marbella, was shattered. The sun-drenched terrace was packed with holidaymakers and locals alike, enjoying the warm Mediterranean weather. But in a matter of seconds, all of that would change. Chaos erupted in a scene that would forever be remembered in Spain's criminal history. Two gunmen stormed the bar, methodically targeting one individual in particular. The man, Gerard Hatchet Kavanagh, a 44-year-old Irish boxer turned drug dealer, was seated at a corner table, wearing casual green swim shorts and chatting with a woman, blissfully unaware of the brutal fate awaiting him. Without warning, the gunman opened fire. 3 shots struck his arm, followed by another 3 into his back. As Kavanagh desperately attempted to retreat into the safety of the bar, he collapsed at the doorway, helpless. The assassins then executed him with 2 final shots to the head. One stray bullet even pierced a nearby parked car. Witnesses later described the assailants as eerily calm, operating with the precision and skill of seasoned professionals, almost like ninjas. One of them was cloaked entirely in black, moving swiftly and deliberately. After the execution, the pair fled the scene in a BMW, which was found burnt out a few kilometers away, just down the road near a supermarket, a trail of destruction and death left in their wake. The man gunned down in broad daylight, as it turned out, was none other than Gerard Hatchet Kavanagh. Once a promising boxer, Kavanagh had fallen from grace, his life spiraling into the dangerous world of organized crime. Born and raised in Ireland, Kavanagh had once been a contender in the Irish boxing scene, but the allure of wealth and power led him down a darker path. He moved to Spain nearly a decade before his death, where he quickly embedded himself in the murky world of drug dealing. His ties to the infamous Kinahan Cartel, one of Europe's most ruthless criminal organizations, were well known. This connection would ultimately seal his fate. Kavanagh's fall from the ring to the criminal underworld was swift. No longer a fighter in the traditional sense, he became a key enforcer for the Kinahan Cartel. His role was clear: collecting debts, dealing with rivals, and ensuring that the cartel's business ran smoothly across Europe. Kavanagh was not just another low-level thug. He had earned his place at the table in the violent world of drug trafficking, money laundering, and organized crime. Kavanagh's association with the Kinahan cartel was no accident. The Kinahan family, originally from Ireland, had become one of the most powerful crime syndicates in Europe. Operating out of Dublin, they controlled vast networks of drug trafficking, money laundering, and arms dealing. Their reach extended into Spain, the UK, and beyond, as they capitalized on the booming drug market. Gerard Kavanagh, with his violent reputation and connections in Spain, was a perfect ally for the Kinahans. He was part of a well-oiled machine that moved illegal substances across borders, evading law enforcement at every turn. In fact, Kavanagh had been dispatched to Dublin just months before his execution to collect a massive drug debt, €1 million, on behalf of the cartel. The debt was owed by a group of low-level dealers who had failed to deliver. When Kavanagh didn't return with the money, the Kinahan cartel wasted no time in sending a message. Failure had consequences. Kavanagh had failed them, and the price for that failure would be death. He became a target within his own organization. Kavanagh's violent end would not be the last tragedy to strike his family. Just 2 years later, his son, Jamie Kavanagh, narrowly escaped death in an attack that would become infamous across Ireland and the UK. Jamie, a promising boxer in his own right, was attending a fight at the Regency Hotel in Dublin. What was meant to be a celebratory evening for Irish boxing quickly descended into chaos when gunmen stormed the venue, opening fire indiscriminately. Amidst the gunfire, gangster David Byrne was killed. Jamie Kavanagh, though shaken, survived the attack, but it served as a stark reminder of the deep entanglement of his family in organized crime. In the aftermath, the world began to piece together the connections between the Kavanagh family, the Kinahan cartel, and the ongoing gangland violence in Ireland. The Regency Hotel shooting, which became a symbol of the escalating feud between the Kinahan cartel and rival gangs, was seen as a warning shot. No one was safe, not even the family members of prominent criminals. Gerard Kavanagh wasn't the only one involved in this international web of crime. His cousin, James Mulvey, was equally entrenched in the world of drugs and money laundering. Mulvey, originally from the UK, was known for his charm, his intellect, and his ability to run a smooth operation. While Kavanagh was the enforcer, Mulvey was the strategist, the mastermind behind much of their criminal empire. Together, they built a network that spanned the globe, with drug shipments moving from South America to Europe and money flowing into secretive offshore accounts. Mulvey's rise to prominence within the criminal world began in the early 2000s. He was known for his sharp business acumen, which he used to establish smuggling routes and laundering operations. He even started running drugs through France, where his operations began to draw the attention of law enforcement. But it was in 2008 when French police intercepted a large drug shipment involving both Mulvey and Kavanagh that their operation began to unravel. Despite the setback, Mulvey continued to expand his empire, operating from luxury hotels and exclusive locations across Europe. The duo was responsible for shipping massive quantities of cocaine and cannabis across borders, using sophisticated methods to evade detection. Mulvey's network was vast, and his ability to move drugs without attracting attention made him one of the most dangerous figures in the international drug trade. While Kavanagh and Mulvey operated in the shadows, their wealth and lifestyle reflected their success. Mulvey, in particular, was known for his extravagant taste. He lived in a villa in Spain worth 1.5 million euros, complete with an indoor pool, cinema, and multiple luxury cars. His connections extended to the highest echelons of European society, with Mulvey frequently seen at exclusive events, rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful. But beneath the surface of this lavish lifestyle lay a network of crime, deception, and danger. Mulvey was not only involved in drug smuggling, but also in money laundering. He used legitimate businesses, such as nightclubs in Birmingham, to funnel illicit profits. His wealth, however, was built on the blood of countless victims. The cocaine shipments, the money that flowed through banks, and the violence that accompanied it all were the true cost of his empire. As Mulvey's empire expanded, so too did the attention of law enforcement. In 2013, the National Crime Agency began a covert investigation into his activities. They traced millions of euros being funneled through offshore accounts in places like the Isle of Man and Monaco. Meanwhile, French, Spanish, and Belgian authorities were working together, pooling their resources to track Mulvey's movements across Europe. The investigation uncovered a complex network of smuggling operations. Drugs were hidden inside industrial machinery, shipped across borders in containers marked as legitimate goods. But the authorities were closing in. Belgian warehouse workers tipped off the police about suspicious activity, and suddenly, Mulvey's carefully constructed empire was at risk of being exposed. With each passing day, the noose tightened. Mulvey's downfall came in 2017, when he was arrested in a dramatic raid by Lithuanian special forces. He had been on the run for years, constantly shifting locations, but his arrest marked the beginning of the end for the Kinahan cartel's European operations. The NCA and other European agencies had pieced together the full extent of Mulvey's empire, uncovering millions of euros in illegal transactions. Mulvey's capture was the culmination of years of undercover work and international cooperation. It sent a shockwave through the world of organized crime, signaling that even the most powerful criminals could be brought down. The Kinahan cartel, once the undisputed kingpins of European drug trafficking, found themselves under intense scrutiny with many of their key operatives either arrested or in hiding. In 2018, after a lengthy trial, Mulvey was sentenced to 32 years in prison for his role in orchestrating the import of drugs worth over 80 million euros into the UK. But while Mulvey's capture was a significant victory for law enforcement, it didn't signal the end of the Kinahan cartel. The organization continued to operate, but their grip on Europe had weakened. Mulvey's arrest marked the beginning of a crackdown on the cartel's operations. Despite the sentence, Mulvey's legacy looms large. His influence on the global drug trade, his connections to the Kinahan cartel, and the vast network of criminals he left behind continue to echo through the world of organized crime. And while law enforcement continues to close in, the story of Gerard Kavanagh and James Mulvey is a reminder of the dangerous and volatile world of international drug trafficking. The brutal execution of Gerard Kavanagh, the rise and fall of James Mulvey, and the unraveling of the Kinahan cartel represent just one chapter in the ongoing battle between law enforcement and organized crime. It's a world where power, betrayal, and violence are everyday realities. So, what are your thoughts on this chilling tale of crime and retribution? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more gripping stories like this one. Until next time, stay safe.